A pair of tri-state newlyweds are celebrating after their marriage was sealed Sunday night in a White Castle.
Yeah, the couple had an emergency wedding that was only made possible by a man who made unorthodox weddings his business.
We need to find out what an emergency wedding is. For that, let's get to Brady Williams, who joins us with the story.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rob Williams, I think a lot of folks, a lot of ladies want their wedding. They want to feel like a princess. So they came to a castle. That's what it was all about. No, that's not actually what happened here. They actually had an immigration issue that required them to get married very quickly. Luckily, they found the guy who was able to make all of that happen.
Away. And so they called me and said, hey, we need to do this, ASAP. Can you do it today? And I said, sure.
Jonathan Hill says he got that call on Sunday from this couple. They've been together for years.
They have a baby together, the cutest little baby.
He says they realized because of an immigration status issue, they needed to move their wedding up immediately. That's why they called Jonathan. He specializes in marrying any couple, anytime.
It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, you still deserve a wedding.
He says a few years back, a close friend wanted him to preside over her wedding. He found out Dudeism is a nonprofit organization that will ordain anyone free of charge.
Well, I didn't want to pay for it, and I read there, and I was like, I agree with all this. So I signed up, and that was the Princess Bride themed wedding. The guy that was like, marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
What started as helping out some friends became a passion for him. Fast forward to now, and his full-time job is offering his services to anyone who can't afford a big wedding, wants to have an unorthodox wedding, anyone who calls on him.
We just basically believe in accepting everyone and letting everyone kind of be their own person and loving them in that way.
So on Sunday, he had to think of where to get this couple married.
The only thing I could think of was it's 9 o'clock at night, that's still open, is White Castle.
They also needed witnesses.
And so I put out a call, and somebody from Reddit, Jaden, thank you Jaden, showed up.
In a matter of hours, a group of White Castle employees, a young man from Reddit, and John looked on as two people who he says are very much in love, said their vows, and were wed.
No matter what's going on with your wedding day, you're there to get married. It's not for the show, it's not for the party, it's not for any of the other stuff. Just be grateful that you have someone there standing across the podium with you that loves you that much, that wants to stand there and forget about the rest.
John says he actually does a lot of military weddings as well because they'll end up in similar situations where they're about to ship out and they want to get married. He says this is also a family affair for him. His son is now also an ordained Dudeist minister, but he only fills in case of emergencies. He says they really are committed to making sure anyone who wants to get married and hasn't found the right minister yet can find one in them. Live in Cincinnati alongside photojournalist Savannah, Brady Williams, Fox 19 Now.
Close second to a Vegas wedding.